Bust the rhymes up in the place, true indeed. Bust the rhymes up in the place. Who can flow with me? Just to let you know.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the infamous Mr. TY, and this is the Project Recap Podcast.
What you gonna do, brother?
Welcome. We are back. It is season 3, the start of a new season here at Project Recap. Very excited, of course. Glad to be back. It's been a little while. It's been since the start of the summer since I put a podcast out, and there's been a lot that's happened with this whole Corona situation, with the NBA. I'm sure with everybody in their own lives, a lot has happened. A lot has changed. So I'm excited to see what this new season, this new year is going to hold for Project Recap and everything under Camp Island Studios. Of course, we're bringing out something new with Project Rewind. That's all throwback content, really. So if you follow me on Twitter, Project Rewind with 2 I's and Rewind, just tweeting out old music that I'm sure everybody knows. Really just a time to reflect back on just old hits, old tunes, and more content too. We're definitely going to be evolving with Project Rewind over time, but right now the focus is just throwback music and just putting a lot of it out there. So again, Project Rewind on Twitter, 2 I's and Rewind. Of course, we got the live streams tomorrow, Tuesday, January 5th, Project Rewind and Project Recap Live. And I want to take this time right now to go ahead and kind of break down what to expect. I know some of you may have some questions as far as like, what is all this? What are we doing? What is all gonna, what's gonna happen? So I want to take this time to address that. So with Project Rewind, of course, like I mentioned, that is solely throwback content. So with Project Rewind live, if you will, tomorrow on YouTube, what we'll be doing is this is pretty much going back and playing old music each week, playing old music, just talking about it. So this week's picks, the rules behind it, to get into that too, the quote unquote rules behind that is, so 2 albums I pick every week, different genres preferably. That's what I'm going for. So, for example, this week we're doing Take Care and 2014 Forest Hills Drive. 2 albums I feel like when you look back at them and reflect on the time, during those eras, it's all just good vibes when I go back and listen to stuff like that. Even with Take Care and the energy behind Take Care, everybody knows that's really an album that you listen to when you're in your feelings. I listen to it because it's good old music, and it allows me to reflect back on my freshman year in high school and just the good times and all the dumb shit I used to do and how it all got me here. So same thing with 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That was my senior year in high school, graduating, going into college. And that was just a crazy time that entire year. So that's the idea with each week with Project Rewind on YouTube. Playing I hate to keep saying old music. It makes it sound like my vocabulary is just limited, but just all throwback stuff, just so whoever's in the stream, we can just go in and just enjoy ourselves, have a good time. Some other things with Project Rewind, not only will I be picking 2 albums, we'll also have a third album, but that'll be picked by a viewer. I'm still working out how I'm gonna make that happen. But that's really the gist of it, and probably some other throwback content we'll watch live on stream, like say for example old highlights. For example, if we go back and watch Blocked by James, the whole 2016 finals, like just different stuff from that, for example, or just different old NBA content from different games and maybe series and things of that nature. We're definitely going to continue to evolve it throughout each week, try to find new ways to add on and make it even better. So hope you guys are excited for that. As far as Project Recap Live, pretty much the podcast in live format, just talking sports live on YouTube instead of on Spotify or on the Apple Podcast app. This is really just a time for me to talk to viewers about sports. You know, anybody that's in, like, how do you feel about so-and-so in this game last night, or this game coming up this week, or who do you have for MVP or most improved? And we'll talking a little bit about that with the actual subject and topics here today. But yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. All the first for me. As some of you know, I recently got new equipment over the last 6 months. So with the PC that I have now, I feel like compared to when I tried to stream Project Cap, I want to say like 2 years ago, it's going to be night and day. Like, that back then was, it had like, I did like some decent, like some dope things, I'll put it that way, but it was definitely a lot of things I could have done differently with Project Cap Live, or I don't even think I had a name for like Project Cap Live. I just tried to live stream that shit a few times, and it didn't go well at all because of my hardware. So with the investments, if you will, that I've made over the past 6 months to improve my setup and my equipment to produce higher quality content, just really hope that you guys can enjoy that. I hope you guys can see the improvements. I know you guys have probably seen that over the last few months with the content I have been putting out on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, like really on any platform I can get my hands on. I've been putting something out, and you guys have seen it. I'm sure you guys have seen, compared to like Project Cap and then Project Recap during season 2 last year, and other stuff in between. I know you guys have been able to see the improvements, and that's what we're going to continue to do through 2021. My 2 biggest goals is to continue to improve and remain consistent. Consistency has always been an issue for myself, so I'm hopeful that this year I can turn that around and really build something with Project Recap and Project Rewind, and continue to grow Camp Island Studios. And you know, I'm again excited for what 2021 holds. I'll try my best to put out content as much as possible, considering that I do work full time, of course, and you know, I hate that shit to the death. Like, just, oh my god, I hate my job, but that's neither here nor there. I'll still try to put out as much content as I can, even when I'm working, because I work from home. So when I'm on the phone with a customer or whatnot, and you know, or if it's slow, I'm probably off to the side working on something on Photoshop or in After Effects or some shit, like on the low. Like, of course, nobody knows that on the other end of the phone or anything. I'm discreet about it, but I try to put in work whenever I can, whenever I see fit. After I get off work, if I have time before I clock in, try to get some work in. That's how I've been over the past month, and I'm just trying to continue to build on that throughout the course of this year and continue forward with that. So took some days off this week specifically for this to put in more work for this. Like yesterday, I usually work on Sundays. I requested for it off to put in more work. I don't think I would have been able to put together the things I've been able to put together in the past 48 hours if I didn't have yesterday off. Because a lot of it really built on, I started a lot of the stuff that I was able to finish yesterday, between yesterday and today, like Saturday night. So you know, just fortunate that I was able to get Sunday off and be able to put in some work, and yeah, it's shown. I know you guys have been seeing the new content we put out today on Instagram and Twitter with the recaps of last night's games. You know, my Celtics came through with a W. I'm kind of agitated with how they've been playing, but I understand few adjustments have been made throughout the past year. You know, we've gotten some new guys, Jeff Teague, Peyton Pritchard, Aaron Smith, I think is how you say his last name. Tristan Thompson, of course, who I think is a great pickup, but I feel like we still haven't figured out things like what lineups to go with and really how to play together, especially with the new additions. Last night, playing against Detroit, mind you, they just beat us a few nights ago. I want to say Friday. Oh my God. Even though that was a good game from specifically Jaylen on Friday night, like when I tell y'all Jaylen Brown is cooking this year, and we'll dive more into that in a little bit, because of course I think he should be in the consideration or in the conversation at the least for most improved player so far. I know he didn't get player of the week. I think Tobias Harris just got player of the week for the Eastern Conference, but I understand why. Philly's playing very well this year. The new pickups they made, Steph Curry, Dwight Howard. I think If they keep playing together and just keep getting better, I think they're going to be a very tough team, tougher than what they've been in the past few years. They've always been, to me, easy in the playoffs. Like, we haven't really struggled against Philly in the playoffs in the past few years. So I think this year, if we end up matching up with them again in the playoffs, I think that's going to be the toughest we've seen them be. Adding those two guys, that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, that was a quick little recap. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this first topic, man. I know y'all saw last night, for anybody that watched the NBA games last night, that boy Steph Curry came through with a 62-piece. I don't understand why, he gets slandered so much. I see it everywhere, like all over social media. Just, I don't know what it is with people. I understand it's probably the younger audience, but as soon as a player does bad or has a bad stretch, I mean, I probably could fall in this category because I tend to troll a bit, but not as much as I used to back in the day. Nowadays, I understand like guys go through tough stretches. In Steph's case, he doesn't have Klay Thompson. I want to say actually before a few nights ago, didn't have Draymond for a good little bit, but last night, being able to play more off ball because Draymond's back. I think even though Draymond played against Portland the other night, because they just played them twice, which I do like how the NBA is doing with that, but we'll talk about that later too. But with Draymond being back, it allows Steph to be more off ball and run his routes, like really get those off-ball screens from guys like Kevon Looney or James Wiseman. I love that pick and roll that they run, Steph and James run. That is a very good tandem right there. Like, that to me, because you got to respect both of them because they both can shoot the ball. They both can put it on the floor. I think James Wiseman is a great. I don't know if I put this out before now, but I know people that I talked to before the draft. I was sold on him going to Golden State. Like, I didn't think they should have drafted anybody else but him. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo, neither one of them fit. They didn't need another guard. They didn't need a wing, especially with Draymond. And then you got A. Wiggins, and then of course you went and got Kelly Oubre eventually because of Klay. But at that time, when you were in the draft, you still had Klay, so I understand that. But I don't know. I don't think so, actually. I don't know. I think Klay actually got hurt like right before the draft. I could be wrong, but either way, they didn't need another wing or a guard. They needed a big. Kevon Looney, I don't think is he's not bad when I say this. He's a good backup big. I don't think he should be a starting big, especially if you're looking to kind of get yourself back into that playoff conversation. Like, he's not the biggest big man in the world, and I think that's key, especially in the West. You got guys like Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, Jokic, Christian Wood now in Houston balling out. Like, you got a lot of guys that you got to match up against, and I don't know if he can hold a lot of those guys, to be honest. Especially, I feel like he's also predictable on offense because he doesn't have much of a game as far as like a jumper or anything like that. He's more so around the rim, low post guy. Very good. And when I say that, I don't say it like he's ass, like because he can't shoot or anything, because there's other things that he does that makes that I shouldn't say make that team good because they aren't really that good this year, but he provides a lot for them because of other things that he does. He's a high energy guy, very physical. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. Very athletic, and that's somebody that's been able to hold it down for them for a little while. But if you're really looking to take that next step, you gotta get somebody better. And I think that's why James Wiseman was an obvious pick. You don't have to go out and trade for a big. You don't have to go out and sign a new big. You can just draft a big, and a very good one at that. Why not just go ahead and grab him? And I feel like it's gonna pay off eventually once his team really gets their identity and really gels. He's gonna be a big reason why they return to the top. I feel like that's what they needed a long time ago. I never really had faith in Kevon Looney for obvious reasons, like I mentioned before. Andrew Bogut, he I don't know, that last run he had in Golden State didn't end how I thought it was going to end, but Yeah, they needed a new big. They really just needed a new big, and James Wiseman is paying off for them. I think that was a great addition for them, and just seeing how he plays with Steph and Draymond, that's gonna be scary. Like going forward, and when they eventually get Clay back next year, all eyes are gonna be really on Steph, Clay, and Draymond in some cases because he's gonna be dominant on ball. So you gonna forget about James Wiseman. He's gonna be rolling to the rim somewhere in the corner, tray ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he can spread it out open the floor for Steph and Clay. So it's gonna be very scary once that whole team comes together. I just hate that Andrew Wiggins is not hooping. I still got faith in him. That's somebody I used to think was really like the next Kobe. I used to say that shit a lot when he was coming into the league, and in his like first year or two, I kept saying that. I felt like his game resembled a lot of what Kobe did, especially before he came to the league. I felt like he was very, very, very good, but once he came to the league, I don't know, and since he's been in Golden State, I don't know. Like him and Kelly Oubre just have not been on shit for Golden State, and I was very hyped when they got Kelly Oubre. I thought that was a very good replacement for Clay. Not anything close to Clay, but a very good pickup nonetheless. And it just hasn't been working. Put it bluntly. And I hope eventually. I know they were saying like last night when Kelly Oubre missed his first three of the game, he was like 1 for 26 in threes to start the season, and they said that's the worst start shooting threes for any player in NBA history. So I'm just like, damn. But that motherfucker's like 100% for dunks. He ain't not banging on somebody. Like that's something he is good for. But once he really gets his confidence and start getting those to fall, and I don't know if Andrew Wiggins will ever come around because he's been, I hate to say, he's been cheeks for years. Even before Golden State, he was cheeks in Minnesota. I'm thinking when he got traded for D'Lo, maybe Golden State's gonna be better for him because he's in a different system, playing with championship, or I should say a championship team, really. Playing with guys like Steph and Clay, playing under a coach like Steve Kerr. How can you not get better? But it really hasn't shown anything yet. But I still got faith. I want to give him more time because, of course, this team is still trying to put things together with Dre coming back in. I feel like with just alone with him coming back, that really just changed the whole dynamic of the team. Because now I don't know who started yesterday. I have to actually go back and see between Kelly or Andrew with Dre back. But it really is gonna shake the whole team. Now guys got to figure out what their roles is with what I expect them to be their team going forward for this year. Of course, because you don't have Clay, you've got everybody else. I think this is what they should expect to have going forward. So now guys got to understand what they need to be doing for the team, what role they should be playing. I just hope the Kelly and Andrew Wiggins experiment works out for Golden State, because they are two very good players, and that to me should be a very good team overall. You still got Eric Pascal, you still got Jordan Poole. I mean, you still got Kevon Looney on the bench. You got a decent backup unit. And then looking at that start, and hold up, before I even go forward, now you either put Kelly or Andrew on the bench and adding them to that unit, that second unit. You got a pretty good team on paper, but for whatever reason, Andrew and Kelly just ain't on shit, and it's holding them back from so much success to me personally. I don't know about y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good game from Steph. Good to see him back on his shit. Tired of seeing the slander. I don't know why people have been slandering him so much. I understand the Warriors were once upon a time the juggernaut of the NBA, but it's not Steph's fault that KD joined them. It's, you know what I'm saying? Steph just, and not only that, people think this is Steph's first time being on the ass team. When he came to the league, the Warriors were cheeks. So, I mean, I do genuinely feel bad for Steph because, you know, I think that team should be better, and they're not, and that's really unfortunate for Steph. But this isn't his first time playing on the shitty Golden State team. When he came to the league on his babyface Steph shit, coming from straight out of Davidson, and he's going to do it again. And I feel like once that team figures out who needs to be doing what, that team is going to be much better than what they currently look like. And I still got faith in that team. I still got faith in Andrew Wiggins. I got faith in Kelly Oubre that they're going to come around and figure this thing out. If they don't, hold me to it. Hold me to that shit. We going to see. But up next, I do want to get back on to the Jaylen Brown subject. I personally feel that Jaylen Brown, with the way he is hooping, should be in that most improved player conversation. Despite how Boston has been playing, because I think what we're currently like 3-4, 4-3, I don't know, something like that. Record is worse than what it should be. Dropped that game to Detroit on Friday. Don't understand that. Got blown out against Brooklyn. I don't know who else we've lost to, but yeah, it's the way Jaylen Brown has been hooping this year. I'm confident in every shot he puts up at this point. Every jumper, his catch and shoot is crispy. His handle is, oh man, he did something to I don't know who was guarding him on Sunday or Saturday night. Sunday night, my fault. Sunday night against Detroit. But he hit a move on the right wing, came to the elbow, hit a pull up on somebody, like lost him. And if I can find that clip, I might put it on Project Recaps IG. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Jaylen Brown is he's in a different bag this year. Each year he's just taking that next step. I feel like his next, or his big step, I should say, was bigger than Tatum's step, like that Tatum took between his really his second and third year. Not even really his first and second year, because from his first and second year, I feel like he took a huge jump, and then last year, I don't know. But Jaylen, he's just been on a whole nother level. I feel like he's been way more efficient, way more aggressive, way more patient too. And I can tell that everybody else is buying in on it, like looking for him coming down the court. Rather than deferring to Tatum, they look for him a lot more. Not as much as I would like them to in the fourth quarter, especially on Friday. Like, they just were not getting into him like I wanted them to, especially because he was going off. Had a 42-point game against Memphis, and we won. And that was a very good game by us. So I watched that game back a few times. We just, from start to finish, I feel like we were just ultra aggressive, making the right plays, and Jaylen just couldn't miss. Like, and they kept giving it to him. Finished with 42. We won by like 19. His numbers have come up from last year. Not to mention he averaged like 20 last year. Now he's averaging like 28, almost 29. And to me, that's a big jump. I understand Kemba's not playing, so he's definitely getting more shots. But even still, I feel like even if Kemba was on the team, he could still be doing this because he's just looking that much better. I think Kemba would still give it to him. He wouldn't look to score as much as he would, like, say, if he was in Charlotte still. He would deflect to or defer to Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen really is on his shit this year. And if he keeps hooping like this, and if if Jason comes around, but if Jason really starts to be consistent, because Jason's biggest problem to me is his consistency. He can score, no issue. He's a decent defender. He's a very good two-way player overall. But everybody knows he can have his nights where he's on fire, but he can also have those stretches where he's ice cold. And to me, that's a big problem. That's going to be a big problem for us until we get Kemba back. Because if Jaylen is the only one that's really hitting, I don't really think there's anybody other than Kemba who we could outside of Jaylen, Jason, and Kemba, I don't think there's anybody else we can rely on for 20 a night. Marcus, of course not. I love Marcus. I think he's the big reason why we play the way we do, as hard as we do. I feel like his kind of energy is rubbing off on somebody like Peyton Pritchard. He's been a dog. He's been an absolute dog for us too. But outside of those three, Marcus is not gonna give us that 20 a night. I love what Jeff Teague is doing for us. He could, maybe, I don't know, but doubtful about that. He's not even playing tonight, going into this game against who are we playing? I don't even know who we're playing tonight. But And then after that, you really don't even have to go further down the list because there's nobody. We got Timmy, Aaron, Tristan, Grant Williams. Grant Williams is a bag of dirt to me. Who else? Carson, Tremont is hurt. Taco doesn't get burned. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Daniel Tice isn't. I feel like, Daniel Tice, I feel like we need to eventually upgrade from him. If anything, move him to the bench and play Tristan. That too big lineup for us is not really cutting it for us. I don't like that. I don't like running Tristan and Daniel Tice together. It don't work for me. Just because for one, Daniel doesn't have that consistent of a jumper for me to think, okay, definitely go put Tristan out there who doesn't have a jumper. Like, now you're making us easy to guard because you're more than likely going to have Marcus Smart out there who is very streaky. He can knock down shots. He can make great plays, but we all know he can also take some dumbass shots. That's why I call him Marcus Dumbass. But if it's just Jaylen and Jason, you can easily guard just two people. Like, if it's just one or two guys, I feel like that's way easier to just hone in on their habits. You know what they're going to do most of the time, especially if they keep giving it to just them two. You know what they're probably going to do. If a screen is coming, if they're going downhill, and you know if the help comes from this way, they're going to go this way. You know, after a while, if they just keep relying on them two to score all game and all season, eventually come to the playoffs, that's going to be easy to guard. So that's why I think we definitely need Kemba back. I was one of the ones last year that said Kemba. I wasn't big on Kemba because he was just streaky too, especially in the bubble. He won't hit no shit like that every game. He was looking piss poor to me. He was looking trash. But hopefully when he comes back from his knee injury, we'll be able to take that next step forward, because once we get him back and add him back into the mix with Jaylen and Jason and seeing what they've been doing this year, and then also, not to mention, again, the pieces that we've added in the past year, I feel like we made tremendous upgrades from Brad Wanamaker to Jeff Teague and Peyton Pritchard. You know, I feel like, as well as losing Ines Cancer in favor of somebody like Tristan Thompson, you know, we made some very good upgrades to push us over that hump, possibly. So once we get Kemba back and we really get to see this team hoop, I will have much more confidence in what we can do. But for right now, I think we're just still missing something, and that's all because of Kemba. That's all because we're missing Kemba. I just feel like every time I watch this hoop, it can get bad at some points, especially that game against Detroit. We were down bad in that first half. We made a comeback in the third and made it a game, and just still let it slip in the end and lost by 3. I feel like if Ja played against us in that big win, the 19-point win where Jaylen had 42, it may have not gone like that as far as the deficit, but Jaylen probably still could have done his thing, because, I mean, I don't know how much of a factor Ja would have had on that. But, yeah, we just need Kemba back. And I hate that I was one of the ones that feel like we could have traded him for Drew Holiday, even though I feel like that would have been a good trade, because Drew gives us more on both ends. Kemba's not that, we know Kemba's not that great on defense, but Drew would have been able to give us great playmaking, great defensive skills, and also been able to score. Seeing what he's doing for Milwaukee, I mean, hey, imagine that in Boston. But call me crazy, I guess. So when we get Kemba back, I think we'll be a lot better. But back to my original point, again, Jaylen Brown deserves that most improved player. If not winning that award, at least be in the conversation for it. Numbers are improving. Just his efficiency is improving from last year to this year. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Tell me who y'all think should be in that most improved player conversation. I know it's kind of early in the season. I don't think anybody's played more than 10 games yet, but still, we've got a good sample size so far to tell, you know, who could be in that conversation going on the line. So my nomination for it is Jaylen Brown right now. Again, tell me who y'all think in the comments on YouTube, or, you know, tweet me. Post on IG in the comments somewhere, something, you know, let's get that conversation going. Who y'all think should be most improved player? I guarantee whoever y'all say is not hooping more than Jaylen Brown. That's on Jesus Sandals. Up next, we're going to go ahead and get into the MVP predictions. Now, I've been telling everybody even before the season started, I feel like Luka is definitely number one to me, especially seeing what he's been doing for Dallas. That blowout win against LA. They've been putting up some pretty good wins overall. That team looks pretty good without Kristaps. I know last year defense was a problem for them, but they've been looking a lot better defensively. They picked up Josh Richardson. I feel like he's a very good addition to that starting lineup. You running him with Luka and Tim Hardaway. Luka didn't play. I know he didn't play last night against Chicago, but just seeing what that team, just how good that team plays. Jaylen Brunson's a very good player. I like Willie Cauley-Stein for that team too. Very good athletic player. Somebody that can protect the paint, hold it down for them while Kristaps is out. I'm not saying he can fill in those shoes, especially on the offensive end, but they're not as bad as I thought they were coming into this year, even without KP. That's a very, very like a much better team compared to what we saw in the bubble. And say if they had this team even without KP in the bubble, they could have beat the Clippers. Now, the Clippers should have been a dub if KP would have been healthy, but if he wouldn't got hurt in that series, but of course got hurt. Yeah, Dallas, they to me are looking very good this year. Luka is an early candidate for MVP. If not, I feel like another choice for me, number 2, is Anthony Davis. I mean, well, or at least before the season started, because I know his numbers are down this year. I think he went from last year averaging around 26, 27. He's down 20 to, I think, 20 or 21 points a game. I know his blocks are down. He's not really getting as many blocks per game. It's still early, granted, still very early in the season, so I'll be patient. But, I mean, a lot of his numbers are down. At least at this point, again, it's early. Hopefully he can get back to around that 26, 27 points a game, maybe 3 or 4 blocks a game. I think his rebounds are even down right now, and it may be because of them adding Marc Gasol. So he doesn't have to do as much down low, and that's a very good pickup for them too. I think the Lakers are definitely a favorite to come out the West, just along with the pickup of Marc Gasol, Montrez, and Dennis Schroeder. But specifically adding Marc Gasol to that team, that just makes it even tougher to guard anybody on that squad, because now you've got another guy who can do a lot for your team. He can defend, he can grab boards, he can play defense. He's definitely going to shoot the ball. He's got a low post game. I mean, he gives you everything. He gives you everything just like Anthony Davis, not to the level of Anthony Davis, but gives you everything just like Anthony Davis will on both ends of the floor. And to me, that makes them a very, very, very scary team. And to me, that's how a two big lineup should look, not something like how Boston is trying to run. You got two bigs who can spread the floor, who can go down low and post up or defend the rim and, block shots, whatever the case might be. So that to me makes LA a favorite, because I don't see anybody being able to guard that kind of a lineup with LeBron. You got Dennis Schroeder. Kyle Kuzma's been, he's been having some good moments, good games, still kind of streaky, kind of inconsistent. And I think that's another, everybody I feel like that I've talked to about Kyle Kuzma says that's his biggest issue, is his consistency. But, yeah, that Lakers team just looks good. I hate to say it. It is what it is. But back to Anthony Davis, if he can get his numbers back up, he definitely could get back. I won't say get back into the MVP conversation, but put his name out there. Outside of him, if the Warriors were ever to become a playoff team, Steph should definitely be in that conversation. Who else? I honestly want to put KD in that conversation too. I know he's in the top 5 scoring this year. Shout out to Jaylen. So let me start over. Let me put it like this. If I had to give 5, just based on what I've seen this year, 1 is Luka, 2 is gonna be KD, 3 is going to be that's a tough one. I want to say Bradley Beal, just off the string, but the Wizards I think they've only got 2 wins right now, so I don't want to throw him in there. Devin Booker, to me, should be in that conversation too, just because Philly. Crane Bonus Connect. Phoenix is what, the best team in the West currently, or at least was, even though they just took a loss last night to LA. Best team in the West record wise. So I feel like if we're just judging it based on what we've seen so far, Devin Booker should be in that conversation. I feel like if I had to throw some dark horses in there, I'm gonna just put Jaylen Brown in there. I got to, because he's been lights out. Top 5 in the league in scoring. So I mean, rightfully so, I gotta throw my guy in there. I would like to see a Celtic in that conversation. And Dame. Why am I forgetting Dame? Dame, to me, I feel like could win MVP this year. I forgot all about Dame. That's somebody else I picked early before the season started. It was between my 3 before the season started was Luka, AD, and Dame. But if I'm basing on who I've seen, it's still Luka number 1, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. Those 3, based on what I've seen, those are my top 3 MVP. But I also want to throw Damian Lillard's name in there. And Jaylen Brown. Those are really, so that's my 5. That's my 5 currently. I'll just go ahead and expand it out to my 5. I hope Anthony Davis can again get his numbers up, because I still think he could, if not this year, one year, someday he's going to be in a league MVP. I still think that maybe it won't happen with LeBron on the team, because it's you on a team with LeBron, so you naturally just will not win MVP. But eventually, I think Anthony Davis can be an MVP, barring any injuries. And once again, if and when LeBron leaves the Lakers, it feels like LeBron's gonna hoop forever. But yeah, that's who I think, at least right now. Again, I run back through that list. It's number 1, Luka. Number 2, Kevin Durant. Number 3, Devin Booker. Number 4, Damian Lillard. And I got to throw number 5, Jaylen Brown, just because, again, my guy's top 5 scoring in the league, and he's been balling out. Like, if y'all ain't seen him hoop this year, like, really watch Jaylen Brown. Watch his highlights. Watch the Memphis highlights. Watch both games against Detroit, even the Brooklyn game, and the Milwaukee game. He's just, bro, all year so far. So go check that out if you have. We might watch that on stream tomorrow, so definitely tune in tomorrow on stream, Project Recap Live. But again, yeah, that's my picks for MVP. I want to see what y'all think, as far as what y'all, or who do y'all think is going to be MVP based on what y'all have been seeing. And let's have that conversation. Again, tweet me, comment on IG, comment on YouTube, hit me up on via text if you got my number. Let's talk about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little underprepared today. I didn't really do my normal preparations like I would before a podcast, but it's mostly because I've been putting a lot of work for the streams, and I'm excited for those. Like, I'm doing some different shit that I've never done on stream. If you ever been to any of my live streams that I've ever done, the shit I have planned for tomorrow, y'all have never seen me do. So I'm excited for that. I've been putting a lot of work in that. So I didn't really prepare for this like I should have, but next week for episode 2 of season 3, definitely make sure we become well equipped for that episode, for the topics at hand, and we'll have more energy next week, because I'm beat right now. Again, I've been up late these past few nights trying to get some things done for the live streams tomorrow. So I'm excited for that, and I hope y'all are too. So I think we're about to wrap it up. I did want to keep it around 30 minutes or so, mostly because, again, it is the debut tomorrow, Project Recap Live on YouTube, and I'll make sure to put out the links and everything so you guys know where to go and when to go there, so you guys are on time for that. Yeah, Project Recap Live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Project Rewind starts at 6 p.m. all live on YouTube. Hope you guys enjoy the content that is coming out. Follow me on Twitter, The Recap Project, Project Rewind with 2 I's. Follow me on IG, Project Recap, for all your content, or visit Camp Island Studios for everything that we do over here at Camp Island. As always, it's your boy TY, and I'm signing out.
What you gonna do, brother?